Hello and welcome back to our philosophy series. Today we're diving into George Berkeley's fascinating theory of knowledge, also known as immaterialism or subjective idealism. We'll explore this through the statement, sensible things are those only which are immediately perceived by sense. Let's start by breaking this down. George Berkeley, an 18th century Irish philosopher, argued that the world as we know it exists only in our perceptions. He challenged the idea of a material world existing independently of the mind. Instead, he proposed that to exist is to be perceived, or in Latin, esse percipi. According to Berkeley, the things we call sensible are objects that we perceive through our senses, like the color of a flower, the sound of music, or the taste of an apple. These qualities, what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, exist only in our experience of them. For example, when you look at a tree, you perceive its green leaves, the roughness of its bark, and the rustling sound of its branches in the wind. But for Berkeley, these sensations exist only in your mind. Here's the key point. Berkeley argued that we never directly perceive a material substance. What we call objects are really just collections of sensory experiences. Without someone to perceive them, these objects do not exist as physical entities. This idea directly opposes the views of philosophers like John Locke, who believed in a material world that exists independently of our minds. Now, you might ask, if objects only exist in the mind, then why do they seem consistent? Why doesn't the tree disappear when I stop looking at it? Berkeley explains this by introducing God into his theory. He believed that God is the ultimate perceiver, who ensures the consistency and continuity of all objects, even when no human is perceiving them. In this way, the world remains stable and orderly. Let's recap. For Berkeley, sensible things are not material objects, but are collections of ideas experienced through the senses. These ideas exist only in the minds of perceivers, and their continuity is maintained by God's perception. This theory raises deep questions about the nature of reality. Is the world independent of our minds, or is it entirely a product of perception?